It is because they cannot afford imported composite taps, but the ones they make by hand are more cost-effective. Pakistan can create a multifunctional tap drill bit with just an ordinary low-wenge. How is this done? Since high-strength composite taps are very expensive, it is because Pakistan is preparing to combine the functions of the drill bit and the tap. With this kind of hardness, ordinary turning tools cannot process it. The first step is to heat it with a gap. The main purpose is to soften it with high temperature. Low hardness can reduce the difficulty of processing. After the surface temperature cools down naturally, it needs to be fixed on the lathe 3-claw plate. Considering that the suspended low-wenge will swing, the end face of the shaft core needs to be drilled with a center drill, provide a certain support force. This time, the drill bit and the tap are combined. Before processing, comparison marks must be made to provide a reference for the master's cutting. After the outer diameter of the drill bit is processed to meet the requirements, the outer diameter of the tearing cone is larger than the drill bit. Cardboard must be used to compare and confirm repeatedly, to avoid the failure of the taper to be used due to incorrect data. After the comparison of the outer diameter of the step, the basic prototype has been qualified. However, the general drill bits are standard spiral structures. In order to make the surface have the same drainage groove, the master first needs to mark the interval with the turning tool. This can provide a reference for the subsequent repair. The whole process is relatively simple, but because the gear hob is processed very roughly, the rough characters left need to be polished and cleaned with the help of sandpaper to improve the surface finish. For some parts of the tap, they need to be cut again. After all the external data are processed and qualified, in order to meet the function of the tail of the tap with a bow tooth, the previous step must also be cut out. Although the tap and the bolt are different, the surface threads are the same. The tap has the drainage groove of the bow tooth. After the master used the rowan to repair the wrong knife, the rowan now meets the male tooth standard. The debris generated by the bow tooth needs to be discharged from the hole position so that there are chip grooves around the rowan. Father will use fang gang as fixed furniture. Considering that the tap needs to be embedded inside, father will use the marked drill bit to open the hole. The hole can completely penetrate the fang gang. When the tap can be embedded in the hole, the fang gang is too small to be cut with a lathe. In order to make the hole and the tap fit tightly together, father will use a wash knife to wash out the groove. In this way, the fang gang can be processed into furniture with a movable mouth. Error fang gang can also be completely clamped. The ordinary lathe is used as a wash bed. It is also a must-have for every 8th level front bow. Then the downward pressure of the tool holder bolt can be used to clamp the two firmly. When the wash knife is horizontally washing the pin, the tearing of the tap will not appear any looseness. The pin is only the limit of a general lathe, not the limit of the 8th level front bow. After confirming that the drainage grooves are perpendicular to each other, the appearance of the pipe attachment and the tap is qualified. The tail needs to be clamped with a chuck before use. Considering that the cylindrical shape is easy to loosen, the tail needs to be washed into a flathead shape. To achieve a better line position effect, it is basically the same as an ordinary drill bit. Then cut off the excess scraps to reach the basic length of the tap with the number. The tap drill must have basic chamfers, and the cutting edge must be polished to a bevel. After successfully combining the drill bit and the tap, Luo Wengong has annealed it before processing to restore the original hardness. The composite tap after molding must be used to heat it. When the temperature reaches the critical point, use salt water to perform a simple brittle fire process to improve the metal properties of the composite tap. This multifunctional composite tap is simply built. Such an operation is really amazing.